Are you happy with what you were able to obtain for your client?
Well, I'm happy that we kept her from going to prison. I'm not happy that she's
how do you feel this, I mean, she could have been facing 29 years behind bars. Does she feel like this is not the appropriate sentence?
Well, that's a lot of incentive to plead guilty early and take responsibility for what she did, and that's what she did. It's part of the reason that the prosecutor was willing to
Have you talked to her family?
frequently, yes.
What's the general feeling with being in jail?
I think their feelings are similar to mine. She made some big mistakes. There are serious consequences, and she's losing the opinion.
Will she be having custody of the child, and what about the father in this case?
She will have legal custody, and I think it's already public information that her parents are taking care of the baby right now. I don't expect that will continue.
Mr. Gass, can you recap how much time your client will be facing under this plea deal reached today?
1 year county jail.
Your client, when she was talking to you, she was smiling after the verdict. I mean, obviously she's facing a year in jail, but she still was she happy with this?
I think she's going to be relieved to at least have the biggest step of the journey over with. And I think that when people are nervous in public, sometimes they smile to avoid pain. I know she's emotionally somewhat traumatized by what she's going through.
Has she been able to see her child through this process?
That I don't know for sure. She was nursing the baby when she was arrested, so she's not actually touched her obviously.
What's going to happen as far as, is it in family law now as far as custody of the child? What's the happening on that?
There are probably things happening on that, but I'm not familiar with it.
Are you going to be representing her on that? Is she going to attempt to get the custody of the baby?
I will represent her on that as long as it's not complicated. I think that they will want to establish paternity. She's willing to stipulate to paternity, but they may want to do a DNA test just to make sure. And once that occurs, then the father of this child has legal rights. I don't anticipate that he wants to have physical custody of the baby, but I do anticipate that he wants to visit the baby from time to time.
Do you think she'll want to have custody of the baby?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a baby girl? Now, going forward, she had to forfeit her teaching credential. Has she thought long term about what she'll do when she is released?
I don't think she has any idea.
Does she still have feelings for the 17-year-old father of her child?
I really don't know.
James, has she ever explained to you, or has she ever had a psychological profile done on her to find out exactly why she has this attraction towards teen boys?
No, and I'm not a psychologist, but I think that you've all seen her. She's 28 years old now. She could probably walk into any high school in the country and blend in. She started teaching high school when she was 21 years old. So I would say that these young men probably, if you looked at her with them, they would look like contemporaries, and perhaps that's the easiest and most accurate explanation.
So sort of like she was in high school and kind of had that high school mentality.
Well, I don't know about a high school mentality, but she was, she's not a 40-year-old married woman. As you see a lot of these cases, that's the profile. She's very young, and she looks even younger than she is. She was a young single lady, and these young men they're not little boys, they're basically still in high school.
Do you think the victims can share some blame, or at least some information?
Well, she was not charged with doing anything against anyone's will or by force. So there was volitional activity on her part.